Welcome everyone to another video. Developing and testing state-of-the-art Linux distribution here, recurring theme on our channel. People want a release and so do I. And as per usual, there's always just one more thing. Alright, this was a previous PowerPC installation. I guess we don't need that anymore. We want we want GPT. I didn't boot with the GPT guys. Okay, doesn't matter too much. 512 EFI and the rest, I guess. That type is freaking. Maybe EFI system. Maybe it doesn't matter. We need to reboot once anyway, so we also have some updates to do that probably... so Linux kernel so long will unfortunately take 15 minutes on this horizon. Let's Firefox and... Alright, with -rf usually, so you don't need to usually fiddle with such stuff. And then x86 to Firefox, just wiping the log and Linux. And then let's rebuild that. So here's a download loaded. Yep. And while we do that, we can already continue testing. Did we write that? Hopefully. So we want so I'm aware people want even nice installation stuff that will come the next release. Does that boot EFI? Do we even have that? Probably, hopefully should work like that, right? So we can test install that. That should be the state of the build from this morning or so. And then we will... I mean, the Firefox is mostly build testing. I'm not... Yes, this lunchtime, morning lunchtime video. Python, yeah, regression. Cheers. Also, I finally installed the Ryzen 7950X with this Gigabyte Aorus Masters X6700E board in a freaking fractal Torrent compact case. Thumbnail. So finally I have space for coffee on my desk again. Amazing. And I'm not actually accidentally burning it, shorting it. We have some code to do. So for one major thing, I'm interested if Firefox starts without hiccup. The last time we did this, it didn't. Does it even? So does it boot with? All right, this is the. All right, this is also so much stuff to do. So this is only because I edited things. Alright, this does not. Good that we test that. Yeah, doesn't help us much. No. Where even was? What happened? Alright, no focus. That happened. Don't tell me I didn't pause the video there. No, I didn't. Let's save some bandwidth. Precious bandwidth. So let's manually fill with that. So the thing is, I'm not even so sure how we should I wanted to rewrite this because I'm not a fan of having all this default stuff in there. But I don't have a very good idea, except if we would patch mount to write an etc mtab again, like it did in old-fashioned times. Anyway. Alright, we don't have VI here, so... Here we have temp of s, so better of s, def temp of s. Dev proxies. Boot efi. So is it all dev proc this temp? That probably should hopefully do. Yeah, that's when I have half finished changes in my working copy. That's of course not ideal. So that should install, doesn't matter the most, or does not, warning, contains embedding when possible, doesn't support. Not sure if that will boot. Hope it does. It's not the most important if it doesn't. It would be nice. Let's see what happens. We could also check what is new in Firefox. Fixed missing content on some PDF forms. Fix a browser freeze with visibility enabled. Page reload not working. Does it not work? What even was my... Hello, QEMU. You had one job. Alright, I think. Did it focus? Yeah, what was going on there? Alright, caps lock is going on. This is always turned on. That explains a thing. So, wait, boot, what did I even? Let's see, of course. Because it indeed did not install like that. Okay, the bad news is okay. Anyway, wanted BIOS EFI. What did we use the last time? Pure EFI, probably. Darn, this EFI thing is too old. Yes. Well, the thing is, I always DSK OVMF I have that on some other so if I don't want to SCP that now. Here are the bloody nightly builds. Probably not these. Or others were bloody RPMs. I really wonder each time, oh, VMF. Each time I need to Google so long, how can this not be more prominent? Each time I need to Google it forever. It is so I had QEMU in there. I really hate that this bloody downloads. I need to somehow put this on my freaking own blog. Can't be that each time I want to have a nightly build of this. I need to Google the whole freaking internet. Maybe we should actually package that. That would probably be a good idea. Now it's... no, FinSpeed. Now we are single-threaded Rust link time optimization anyway. How can this be such an annoying stuff? Where did I even last time download that? Yeah, I guess I need to package that. That is of course super annoying. Actually, I had that downloaded, but probably not. Let's switch on my 3950X. I think I had that here somewhere. Oops, yeah. That is it, I usually used. Isn't that amazing? I need to have a better story version for open source stuff. So, finally. So, QEMU, yada yada. Files. So, some people used word manager or stuff. That should be if you should it not. Where is freaking... should there not be some grub platform? Nah. No, darn it, resized it, but fine, whatever. What, empty? I for somehow run that wrong. because it was even a totally different one. Is it even the right directory then? Of course it isn't. Linux. Oh darn. Oh no. Oh, where did I copy that now? So, but now, at last. In this time, okay, we built Firefox, we can commit that. I don't have high hopes that they fix this Python regular expression from earlier today. And then, that is what we wanted. And that is of course fully installed. The only thing is that complete? And this is just how long? Alright, we want to create install. Okay, so that is also what I want to fix now. That's basically the point also of this video, because people want to install it and it's like, yeah, doesn't boot like that. But that is just mounting that wherever, iffy, var, whatever stuff like that. But that's basically, can you not quickly like do something like 30 minutes later? So let's hope that boots. Alright, so another day we also wanted to script that. Alright, we have boot C there. Where does this not manager? So because so yeah, this is how it should work even with others iffy vars. I'm surprised it doesn't work for some. I don't know, we have, how did we manage that? Somehow this word IO thing is a little bit glitchy. So then let's see if usually we start exert, don't we? Why is there no extern? Alright. Oh, darn it. Because we don't have some etcfs tab, I guess. Probably at least that. Oh, that's enough. Okay, so this stupid bug is still there. That is really unfortunate. Actually, did it not segmentation fault? Oh no, maybe it didn't segmentation fault. So that is a bummer because I don't really have time to debug such nonsense. Alright, this was not been obviously that is. So running that through this here does work. So at least the last time it did, yeah, it still does. So this is new, first time I've seen that. That is of course complete bullshit and nonsense. So like previously you could just start the freaking browser. And now you have all this start browsing, which we could have started browsing, but this thing harassed us to do all this stuff. So the good news is Firefox works otherwise. This is Vasi, this root and sandboxing and stuff. But otherwise. This XP comp, nah, this is newish. Okay. We also have a new Firefox and Linux kernel build. So this grub image thing does mount that. Okay, this one's that here, fair enough, that probably should be there. So we probably, yeah, we have that. So I will probably, so I don't generally want to have this mounted because I remember horror stories that at least decades ago, but maybe even recently, like a decade ago, Samsung laptops of whatever, Samsung Note, the Series 9, whatever, the stuff was called, could be bricked, maybe even Lenovo, whatever it was recently. So I simply assume it's not mounted because too dangerous, EFI and stuff, peak bugs, better not touch it. And stone, no, boot grub to stone. And system not and EFI boot, so avoid, just nothing like you open your file. Actually, you know what, I wanted to use a cooler editor to trigger you. Mount, oops. EFI manager here. Oops. So that is EFI to do case. What did I? To do case. Oops. Okay, so much to copy and paste. Native copy and paste. Okay, you know what? Let's maybe not use this editor. Oh, there I had that. But that's also the thing, right? I didn't get a patch from anyone. So the thing is also, for me, that works. I usually, I'm aware other distributions might use, okay, wait a second, there is boot. This is a very Microsoft thing that I really don't like, this registering boot manager with EFI variable stuff. And also, I like my stuff just working, which why I install my stuff, like our Linux distribution here. Here in boot. I know some other distributions might install this to boot broken Oracle Linux and stuff, whatever they might use. And this registering in VRAM, I find it stupid. The stuff if you plug it somewhere and it should boot. And usually I mean, sure, maybe someone dual boots with Windows, but I only have my Linux distribution anyway. So I think in EFI boot that should work. Is this default location where the EFI BIOS looks stuff up? Do we have here a for loop for EFI in, right, for all. So where is this end of this else? Wait, is this wrongly indented? It's not even using tabs. What have I done there? Dann wait, EFI boot manage. So we install this at all EFI, but so this basically is for me. What this does is, I'm not sure if other students do that, but we strive here to attention to detail and perfection stuff. What that does is in our servers, where we have on all the RAID, software RAID stuff and LVM, an EFI folder on each partition, so we're not sure what others do if their primary disk fails, but if the primary disk would fail and the server reboots, that it would still load, auto load from all the other locations. So we mount for all in boot EFI, mkdir. Does that even still work? Alright, so that is the EFI partition. Alright, so this is for all of those EFI partitions. Crypto dev needs to be more tested. So EFI, that is that EFI instance. So we might install it in multiple, but only register this environment variable thing here once, maybe. So yeah, unmount that again. So I assume it isn't mounted and will be unmounted. Probably should. Actually, we have here. All right, I think this creates duplicates that if you rerun that. It's for another day. I probably should test if the stone module, so that is this stuff here to maybe better in stone mod setup. Let's beta test. So that would be in stone proper. And then we can quickly, so should we theoretically bump the version eventually as we constantly edit it? Probably would be a good style, wouldn't it? And welcome everyone. Cheers. So yeah, this Firefox thing that sucks balls, that is ridiculous. I don't even know how that broke. I mean, it is always possible that improvements on our side cause an regression. Firefox XP.com, really? This is ridiculous. Do we have EFI in here? Grab EFI was. I hope we'll do that with this video. So ISO. And then did that build to one ISO? I didn't. Stuff gets bigger and bigger every day. And then let's retest that. This is a bloody super key cycling through. That create file system from scratch. Yeah, that installs faster than PowerPC QEMU or a real HPPA RISC. Does this look better? Yeah, dev PTS, but it still isn't complete, I think, or does it have... Is this really some regression? Oh no, it's just displays stupidly proxies and def are in there. So the rewrite is mostly about, I don't know, the rewrite or like tiny little bit redesign would be, I don't want this, all this default nonsense in there, right? We basically say mount this stuff and then we get this random garbage. I want a decade later get rid of this random garbage there again. This is just too stupid for my taste. So does it, why does it say where it's not supported on this platform? We were supposed to have fixed it. Or don't we have this kernel module? Maybe we don't have the freaking kernel module. That might be ifvars. Do we have... do we, by the way, do we overlay kernel modules in the... Do we add additional... Maybe not, I forgot. Ah, so much complexity. Oops. No, Control-C doesn't work here. Wait, did the someone not rebuild? Ah, I did I not? Ah, that is... Okay, let's test this, otherwise mount, I didn't rebuild grub2. So that was ifvars. This class, was it firmware? This firmware iffy. Where is it now? This firmware unknown ifvars. Maybe ifvar fs. ifvarfs, but maybe we simply don't have that. Maybe that is the whole issue of, although theoretically we could. Not found, should we not have installed that? Why don't we have a kernel? Or maybe I just looked. Ah, right, this wasn't change rooted. Okay, so far so good. And then stone grub2. Could not prepare boot variables, no search for a directory. Maybe it simply isn't supported in QEMU like this. Maybe I need to boot with potentially. Probably try that on real hardware. And recommend one. So var fs, where do we add that? But so we only, I don't think, how was it? We probably only have the init rd. We boot the regular init rd. Yeah, so I guess the best thing, the easiest thing, what we usually do is, I mean, maybe it's not the worst thing to have it in the init rd. It certainly shouldn't be that large. But is it even right? What even do we mk init rd? We have here minimal. So yeah, I guess if you want truly minimal, you don't need that otherwise. Don't probably. So there is some more AFI stuff. AFI test. Cache files. Oops. So I guess var fs it is. Do we have ACPI somewhere? Apparently not. So here then maybe we should also sometimes bump this version. Becoming increasingly professional, doing stuff the righter way. So that was okay, init rd. Unfortunately, we need to rebuild the kernel though. Somewhat didn't work the most in QEMU anyway. So I guess actually rebuilding the kernel doesn't take that long. We could actually test that. Let's check if we can re-enable this mtab stuff. Although because previous research showed they had that disabled by default. That sounds you can still enable it if you want to. Because the mtab, yes, it's old-fashioned, they write for container and concurrent and stuff. But for this installer case, it would actually help us, and maybe we could have it enabled by default and then change our init scripts to not update that or something. Or wire that to some environment variable like t2 installer stuff, or let's see what we find there anyway. just to improve the FS step generation there. This is a bit, yeah. Was it core utils? Util Linux. And that we can, there is a slightly newer version, but that didn't instantly build. So actually, I wonder what does, but we probably don't have find. Yeah, that's the most helpful. Entirely not helpful. Release nodes don't support etc step by default. Mount option outside. Where the file is symlink to get most recent mount FS from. Reads etc ftap, writes etc mtap, or writes to run mount and calls umount. Here is enable libmount supports mtap. Default is use proc self mount. Here is that. Wonder how they implement this. Is there another? It's only thing is they might, as per usual with such stuff, they might delete that at any time then. Why are there? Better FS support, what does that do? MNTS, regular mtap, do they check that? The best actually would be to support, you know what, the best would be to support both, that in-system is symlinked and the installer has a file. If the file doesn't exist and write argument does not know, then it will try to create the file. Is a regular file and 0 in case of error, check error for details. What? If the file does not exist and writable argument is not null, then it will try to create the file. Returns 1 is a regular file and 0 in case of error. But what does it? Okay, it returns error, and so what that is regular. It probably depends on what S is regular returns, huh? Okay, what does the code do that is what? My context? And T context untype writable. Oh darn. Is regular mtab is regular if has regular mtab. Okay, they don't even check the error, only if writable. Oh my. Which one was it even? Utils? Writable, so it would stat that, and S is regular. File exists, else that. If it's regular. Okay, otherwise try to create the file. Irregular, non-writable, return 0. If writable, so it zeros that first. If writable pointer. Also here I see totally amazing types within instead of bool. Future is no. Okay, so it's basically only what the context init passes. So that is extremely crazy. This is of course extremely misleading without explicitly braced, curly braced block scopes here. Because I was for a moment wondering. So they check that, and if not writable, so it's basically, it's trying that, I'm trying to figure out if we can enable that safely and not use it in the installed system. So it would always check the, so that would always fail if we symlink it like it's recommended. And so it would still, so it would basically still fall back to run mount utab, which actually we also don't really have. Okay, it doesn't really change much. So I guess we can enable that. Of course, we will. Nothing like breaking this live on YouTube. What even was the... Capped spaces. I need to disable the bloody non-breaking Unicode space, not certificates and non-breaking Unicode spaces. So, and then rebuild that too. Do I have updating this stuff on my to-do? So that might be it. Guess then we could... Yeah, let's first quickly check if it does what we hope it would do. Actually, no 3 Firefox variants in this test build. Can never have too many test builds. But yeah, recurrently, if I look at prominent widely used packages, the source code quality is like, nah, misleading block scopes there and stuff, but nah, who am I to judge that? Obviously, probably, maybe. And let's redo that. Install. And so we wanted to check this Btrfs stuff. So yeah, that does what we wanted. What previously it did not create anymore. So what all of that yeah, is for this, not a copy. The difference is this here. Where even, oh no, not that, but that is just the default. Actually, it's also just the default. Basically that here. So all I want is not to have the size stuff, because obviously if you change the hard drive, maybe you don't even have that space there, or also real relative A time, no ACL, space cache. Like I don't want all this random nonsense in there. So basically it looks like we can then enable my previously started code then. So all that does is, instead of what we previously had hard-coded mix, actually that is not even the copy default and fallbacks. Where even Some defaults in fallback. Where's the rest of that? Ah, here probably. So copy defaults. Oh wait. Is this change routed? Currently mounted. So main. No, this actually, darn. Doesn't even help because it is already change routed. But so this is currently mounted. But here we can copy the, so this, we have here mtab, and we even substitute read write sed, rewrite, we remove that and okay. Did I modify that or was it there before? You know what, then it's probably a regression. I guess it previously, once upon a time, was working. It's just that we didn't have a proper etc mtab anymore, I guess. Storm mod install. Oh, it's creating that here, so I guess we do etc mtab. Actually, we could do that in one SED expression. What do we do here? To SED trailing probably should work from that etc mtab. Why do we cd in there? Can we not? Do we need that for something? Nothing like cleaning this stuff up. I probably, just for fun, will convert it to basically just sed-n for not default printing and then matching m&t. So we could do that in basically sed-n. And then matching, actually a little bit annoying. With a space here and m&t, because then we need to escape it. Basically, if this matches, we probably can do that in one. Grab sed. We probably should be able to do that. No, we can also just leave it like that. Probably should work like that. Substitute. Can do it even more elegant. Which file was it even? etc mtab it was, wasn't it? It was, wait, it was procmons, but we don't want to use it anymore, right? So, is it much shorter? Not really, huh? But probably as an exercise, I will convert that to an even shorter SED expression later. Like basically, yeah, substitute. So basically substitute capture, like substitute that. I'm still... Why do we have that here though? Probably that must be root versus slash versus... No, something. I should test that, but... Anyway, so much thoughts about saving some characters. Not really worth it. So that's basically it for this video. Actually, the best way to test this, if you want to see how to best test that, is to boot with no graphics. Does it? Then we need to manually remove that. Obviously, it doesn't make sense to Word.io. And then I probably... Why does it have some no graphics success stuff there? Oh, shit. And then we can nicely test that, so... Oh, nicely? Can we even nicely? Oops. So to test that, so SAD this stuff. Oops. Alright, we didn't rebuild this. We probably don't have an mtab. Actually, we have an mtab. Did I already alright, we probably rebuilt that. So, alright, I probably forgot the print, right? So, yeah, good that we tested that. Because we obviously need print here. And that works. Why does it match? Ah, because def is right now mounted probably. Here, that is already mounted, we probably can't. So here, that is probably how we want it. So the only other thing would be to match substitute slash here without amd to substitute, then we don't need to all right, well, where did we had amd? This is slash or space. Why does this not print anything? Probably doesn't match something. Slash or space. Actually, do we even need that? Should that not be? So we need space. So the only thing is we don't want to have a double or is so grab that substitute. Need to does this work for all? Does it look right? Guess that should work, shouldn't it? So, designing some stupid, of course. I mean, the reason I said other people don't clean it up like that is obviously it's not worth to think about five minutes for bloody regular expression here, but now we have done this and it's a little bit, oops, also copy and paste the whole thing would actually be, probably we can blame Wayland for that. So, that's probably better than theoretically we don't need that if we want to save 2 more characters. It's probably fine, huh? So that's it then for this video. Should we... Okay, you know what? It doesn't take that long to test that and then I go home. But yeah, perfecting your own little Linux distribution, 1 YouTube video at a time. As usual, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Wishes, remarks, recommendations. And then, oh darn, this resized. Yeah, this Twitter was glitchy. The performance is nice, but somehow the mod resize stuff here is a little bit, sometimes no, sometimes a little bit, depending on where you resize it in the boot process and stuff. Leave in the comments if you ever had that issue. So, one last thing. Mount, actually, should we do that completely from scratch? Maybe we do. Create a file system, better fs. Fat there. What do we have in? So we have compressed. That is the only other thing I would want. What we have EFI compressed set standard? What the heck? It doesn't support it. Why is that in there? That is bizarre. Does mount put it in there even though it doesn't support it? Shit. Why is there always some stupid bug? Or did I better FS format it? No forfeit. And that doesn't show compress. Are you kidding me? You can't mix this up. I mean, yeah, it's not default anymore, but to me that looks buggy. Or does. Or maybe it's a fat bug that they don't properly return an error for unsupported mount options. Why do I always find bugs here? This is 30 years old, should this stuff not be bug free? Okay, then I probably will rewrite the compress logic also to only try remount compressed for allow listed file systems that freaking supports this. You can't mix this shit up. This is... Alright, we don't have an editor. Oh, come on. We probably... Okay, now we have it in there how it should be. Yeah, there's always one more bug. This is hilarious. So you think, and this, sure, we enable a non-default option that other people find deprecated stuff for our very specific use case here, but there's also somewhat limit of, I mean, this such, I mean, and we find just using random tiny little stuff, and each time we do that, we find bugs. So what do we have in here? So yeah, this looks better now. Better FS with only compress set standard, and otherwise default stuff. That probably should be better. Ah, shit. Okay, fine. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. So yeah, that... So it doesn't complain about EFI-vars anymore, right? That probably should be mounted. Actually, it's probably unmounted already. Actually, we should... Yeah, it's mounted. So it's probably this... I probably need to boot slightly different with NV whatever device stuff. But I guess it has a chance to work on real hardware V. There is this -P though. We need to get rid of that. That is... probably my added new code for checking if we have LD config, which we don't have from user. So the only other question is though, and that doesn't work, but chain load, that probably should work like that maybe? Oh no. Yeah, it doesn't find the config then. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see if it installed proper. Yeah, that doesn't work with C though. There. I hate this word.io thing. Oh, come on. You had one job. So we probably still need to make that a, I mean, now it works probably, but it's not recommended. So yeah, but otherwise, it probably should be. Wait, we don't have PTS something. Somehow diff PTS is not in there. Nah, tiny little details. Okay, still some more to do. But we need to get paid somehow. So actually that is showstopper. Symlink, etc mtab, and at least def PTS and new. Is everything else in there? Temp. Means the sorting sucks probably maybe a little bit. Strange that we just don't have, or maybe it is not in the FS tab that we, is it not in the default FS tab that we? It should be that one, right? So it probably should be in there. So here, some shared mem also. Yeah, do that later. From the comfort of the couch at home. That's it for this video. Some progress as usual. I hope you learned something. Especially how many details one can care about and how much can be broken. And good evening everyone, we are just here, so good evening, good morning, good night. Hope you enjoyed this and learned something, especially this amazing Mesa user errors here. Release is coming along, as usual it is a lot of work and attention to detail. So yeah, one more live stream coming up next. Until then, have a good day and night. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and hope to see you soon for the next fun tinkering and bug fixes to come.